Hello, my name is Ilona, and in this video I want to take a look at a few countries. I want to start with Ireland. Apparently people are still in a way complying. A lot is happening, unfortunately, everywhere, but also in Ireland I just want to see the energy of Ireland and what's going on there. Oh, there's one falling out. Oh, let's see. The Seven of Swords, that's the card above. We have the Ace of Cups for the central card. We have the Two of Pentacles in the past. We have the Eight of Swords underneath the central card. We've got the Judgment in the future, near future, and the Nine of Pentacles. So there are changing, there's a new beginning, so I do believe something's happening, and especially people, how do you say this, more connection to their feelings. So something's changing, and it has to do with emotional change. This is about cups, this is about the element water. Water is about feelings, emotions, so people are probably in a way connecting more and more with their emotions, or there are opportunities to do that. It's like a new beginning, and especially with the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords, there is a lot going on. A lot of people feel powerless, they feel trapped, which of course is going to lead to feeling, well, how to say this, limited. Most likely when people are in a certain spot, very uncomfortable spot, they are welcoming change. So I think things are going to change. They see people trying to get away with things. I do believe there are still dark energies there in Ireland. And they see it, probably the puppets, still trying to get things through, still trying to wield some power. And I think that a lot of Irish people feel very just stuck, and like this is not what we want. And that feeling, it's usually the feelings, is really going to create this new beginning. And I think it's very important that they start connecting with all these feelings of frustration, of being limited, of feeling like there's so much going on, there's nothing we can do. They have to step out of this feeling of being powerless. So as you can see in this card, it's up to the Irish people to just step out of it. They could just walk away. They could just throw this away, take away the blindfold, and see what's really going on. But it's very important for them to start listening to this feeling of frustration. Things aren't, a lot of things are happening, but it just doesn't feel right. I do believe a lot of people in Ireland feel like something's off, and that is the start of a new beginning emotionally. And it's very necessary to get out of this feeling of being stuck, also the feeling of not taking responsibility, and seeing other puppets around from the dark energies not taking any responsibility whatsoever, and thinking they can still get away with all kinds of things. So this is really a very wake-up call for the people in Ireland. And this, I think that there's going to be change. There is this Ace of Cups, so it's about tapping into their emotions, connecting with their feelings, their emotions, and of course their intuition and their connection to God and the universe, so they can really start changing things. It's very, very important. But things are happening, and it feels very, especially with these sword cards, a lot of people probably are still very much in their heads, so to speak, and not truly connected to their feelings and their emotions. And that's so important, because that's the way out of there. Especially in your mind, you can get really stuck if you're not grounded, if you're not prepared to see yourself as more than just being in your mind and just worrying and like, oh, I can't do anything about this, I'm stuck. So those feelings and those convictions need to be changed, and you can do that by grounding yourself, connecting yourself with your heart, with your intuition. So that's a change that's happening in Ireland, and this is looking pretty good. Justice is coming, and this feeling of being independent. The Nine of Pentacles is about being independent, following their own way. And I think that's very important in Ireland, that the Irish people become completely independent and just do what is important to them. focus on their food, their bodies, their mental state, their spiritual state, emotional, being completely independent. And justice is that things are going to happen. Justice is also about balancing things out. And I think a lot of changes are going to come, but we just have to wait and see. There are so many things happening right now. I got a lot of messages yesterday about air traffic everywhere in the Netherlands, in Belgium. You cannot see it on the radar, so there's a lot going on that we just don't know about yet, but a lot is happening on the background. And I do believe also in Ireland things are happening. I think it is worldwide, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. But in Ireland things are changing, so that's good to see. People also ask me to look at Portugal, so I'm just going to take a look at Portugal as well. The energies of Portugal. We have the King of Swords. We've got the Two of Pentacles as the central card. In the past we have the Six of Swords. We have the Six of Pentacles underneath the Two of Pentacles. We have the Five of Pentacles for the future, near future. And the Ace of Pentacles. And I keep seeing the King of Wands. It's just drawing me in. So this is white hat influences. We're going to see more and more white hat influences in Portugal. There is something calculating, something being manipulating around. But there's also more of a balance thing going on in Portugal. So things are balancing out. So things are going to change, but it's more in a balanced way. We have the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, and they're both about balance. We've got a scale here, and of course he is holding it like in a way of balancing things out. It's about balancing things. So I think we're going to see more and more white hat influences. But it is going to, especially for the near future, it's going to get tough in how do you say this? For the first period ahead in Portugal, things are going to get very tough financially. So probably something with the prices, things are falling apart. And then there's going to be a completely new start. The Ace of Pentacles is about a new start, probably a financial start. So I do think that we're heading towards this collapse of the old financial system. When it's going to happen, we just don't know. We do know that we're working toward this. We can probably feel it in the energy if you're open for that things are falling apart. You can just see the old systems falling apart. But in Portugal, people will really feel like they're left out in the cold. There is not enough food, not enough something like that. They feel very like there's not enough financial things to make it at the end of the month. It will feel very limited, like they're left out in the cold, and then a change will happen ultimately. So I do believe this is like the falling apart of the financial system, but there is a plan going on. I think that there is still some dark energies that are trying to get their way, although I am feeling like the white hats are pretty much in control there, but there are still some energies they have to deal with. But I think they're both very cunning about it. So the dark energies are trying to get away with certain things still, and the white hats are actually in the background trying to see, they are truly the ones in control. That's the feeling I'm getting. But this is all about balancing things, in changing people's perspective, but in a balanced way. So this is very interesting. This feels more balanced. So I think there's going to be more stability coming in Portugal, although it may not feel like it. But especially with this card, it can still get very rough there, especially financially. But ultimately, there's going to be a completely new start. So things are changing, but in a different way. It's almost like it looked like the dark energies are winning, and then suddenly something happens that looked like the white hats, and then the dark hats. It's a bit, so it becomes balanced more and more. So and ultimately there will be like a completely new change, and I do believe the dark energies will leave in that way. So yes, that's Portugal. And I also want to end this video by looking at the USA, because that's so important. And a lot of things are happening right now. Of course, we had 9/11, which was horrible, false flag created by the dark energies, sacrificing a lot of people. More and more things are coming out about that, so that's good. But now they're changing things. I just watched a clip from Tucker Carlson about people being, because they support Mr. T, they are now getting visited by an alphabetic agency or, well, a federal bureau, so to speak. So a lot of things are happening now. They're trying, the dark energies, and I think that is also part of showing the agenda, are trying to create this civil war in the USA, try to get back some of their power. They need the chaos, they need the unrest. So we're really seeing that they're focusing now on anyone that supports Mr. T is against democracy. We're going to get that rhetoric. And I think they're going to really, that it's going to be, how do you say this? They're going to really force it down the throats of the American people. So I'm just going to take a look at the USA and the energies there. We have the Nine of Cups. That is interesting. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Strength card in the past. We have got the Emperor underneath the central card. We've got the Two of Cups, and I'm also getting the Chariot. I kind of feel like I had to pull them both together. So right now it still feels very like nothing, how do you say this? It's like in between land, so to speak. This is someone standing there but not making a choice. So it feels like a choice isn't being made. They're still trying to push people into a civil unrest. At least the dark energies are trying to create this chaotic period. They need that so they can step in. That's what they think. But I believe that the military is really in charge there. So if something has to happen, that I have a feeling that the white hats will take control over it. So, and in a way they're pushing this along as well. They need people to see, they need people to open their eyes. So when things do happen, they will understand what's been going on. And I do believe this is about getting people, still some people out of their comfortable situation. So many things are happening in the USA as well. So people are really waking up. This is still about waking up people, that they're trying to create this civil war, or really they're focusing now on domestic threats and things like that. They're purposely doing that. And I think the military is pretty much behind it and just waiting what's going to happen now. I do not believe that a civil war will happen. I do not believe that a third world war is going to happen. I believe the military are going to step in then. But it will seem like things are completely falling apart. We are now heading towards that scary event. We are heading towards the collapse of all these systems. So things are going to get rough for a bit. That's the feeling I'm getting. But this is all in the near future. It's all about healing, and it's about gaining control back to the people of the United States of America instead of all these dark energies. This is about healing. This is about really, the Chariot is about moving away from the situation and gaining control. And I think that is so important. And things are going to change. They are going to change. We don't know when everything is going to happen. But when things start happening in the USA, I think that really is very, very important, especially when Mr. B they're getting rid of Mr. B in one way or the other, that will be a very important marker as well, just like with the Queen when she, moved on, or at least they made it public that she's gone. It's a very important marker. And when something happens and changing in the USA, this will affect the entire world. And this is an enormous war. It's almost very difficult to understand at what levels this war is being played out. And so this is massive. But what happens in the USA is very, very important for the rest of the world. And especially in this gigantic war that's going on. This is a spiritual war. This is about taking back power, control, This is about healing. It's very important that we focus on that as well. But the USA in the near future will start healing, and I do believe worldwide that we will start healing, but things still have to happen, and it's going to get quite chaotic. And well, most of the truther community are prepared, but it's still going to be very, I think, very shocking, even for the people that are actually quite, how to say, prepared. We just really need to trust, know in our hearts we're going to be all right, and hold on to, just to trust that this is what we're here for. This is what we're supposed to go through, this great awakening, this very important, amazing time, and that we're really heading towards a beautiful new future. And we're going to get a bumpy ride, but we will be all right. I'd like to leave it at this. I hope to see you in another video. Bye.